Have you ever experienced this feeling that everything outside your home seems to be moving forward, yet inside your own house something feels unsettled? You work hard all day, you handle responsibilities, you smile with colleagues, you manage your duties with strength. But when you return home, instead of feeling relaxed, you feel tension in the air. Small words turn into big misunderstandings. Simple conversations become arguments. Silence feels heavy instead of peaceful. And sometimes you sit quietly and wonder, why is it easier to be calm with strangers than with my own family? The people you love the most somehow become the ones you react to the fastest. You do not plan to hurt them. You do not wake up wanting conflict. Yet at the end of the day, there is distance, frustration, or guilt in your heart. You may even pray for peace, asking God to change the situation, to change the other person, to make your home harmonious again. But what if peace at home is not created by controlling others? What if it begins with something much smaller, much simpler, and completely within your control? What if the true secret to a peaceful home is not a big sacrifice or dramatic change, but one quiet habit practiced daily? Before we blame our family, our stress, or our circumstances, let us gently look within. Because sometimes the doorway to peace is closer than we think, waiting for us to step through it with awareness. When we look honestly at most homes, we discover that the real problem is not lack of love. In fact, love is often present, but it is hidden beneath layers of ego, stress, and unspoken expectations. The hidden problem is emotional accumulation. Small hurts are not discussed. Tiny disappointments are not expressed gently. Instead, they are stored quietly in the heart. Over time, these unspoken feelings build pressure. Then one day, something very small, a tone of voice, a forgotten task, a simple misunderstanding, becomes the spark for a much bigger reaction. The argument is never really about that small issue. It is about all the past moments that were never healed. Each person in the home wants to feel valued, heard, and respected. But instead of expressing this need softly, we often demand it through anger or silence. A husband may feel unappreciated but says nothing until frustration explodes. A wife may feel unsupported but hides her sadness behind irritation. Parents may feel neglected but express it through criticism. Children may feel controlled and respond with rebellion. Everyone is protecting their own hurt, and in doing so, unknowingly hurting others. The deepest conflict is not between family members. It is between expectation and reality. When we expect others to understand us without patient communication, disappointment becomes constant. This emotional tension slowly disturbs the peace of the home. And until we recognize this hidden pattern, the cycle continues, even though the heart truly desires harmony. Why does this pattern repeat so easily, even when we truly want peace? Spiritually, the home is not just a physical place. It is an energy field created by the thoughts, emotions, and words of the people living in it. Every reaction leaves an imprint. Every harsh word lingers in the atmosphere. When we carry stress from the outside world, we often release it where we feel safest, at home. Psychologically, this happens because the mind lowers its guard in familiar surroundings. We control our anger in public, but at home we feel free to express it without filtering. Over time, this creates a habit of reacting instead of responding. The nervous system becomes trained to defend, argue, or withdraw quickly. If you grew up in a house where shouting was common, your mind may unconsciously believe that loud reactions are normal. If silence was used as punishment, you may repeat the same pattern without realizing it. Spiritually, every reaction strengthens a pattern. What you practice daily becomes your nature. If impatience is practiced, impatience grows. If calmness is practiced, calmness expands. This is why peace cannot appear suddenly during conflict. It must be cultivated gently in ordinary moments. The lack of peace is not because love is absent, but because awareness is absent. When awareness enters, reactions slow down. When awareness is missing, ego takes control. Understanding this truth is the first step toward transforming the emotional climate of your home. Now let us look deeper into the role of karma, destiny, and inner patterns within the home. No one is born into a family by accident. Spiritually, every soul enters a home that reflects the lessons it needs to learn. Some families teach patience. Some teach forgiveness. Some teach strength through difficulty. When similar conflicts repeat again and again in your home, it is often not random. It is a pattern asking to be healed. Karma is not punishment from the past. It is unfinished emotional learning. If anger was common in previous generations, it may continue unconsciously in the present one. If respect was rarely expressed, criticism may feel normal. These patterns pass quietly from parent to child, not through destiny alone, but through behavior observed and repeated. A child who grows up watching constant arguments may later react the same way in marriage, even while promising never to become like that. This is how unconscious destiny works. But here is the hopeful truth. Karma continues only when we act unconsciously. The moment you become aware and choose a different response, the chain begins to break. One calm reaction can stop years of repeated conflict. One sincere apology can heal generations of emotional distance. You may not control the past, but you can reshape the future. When you decide to respond with patience instead of habit, you become the turning point in your family's destiny. Let us now gently observe the signs in daily life that show peace is slowly leaving the home. Often, the change is subtle at first. Conversations become shorter. Smiles become less natural. Family members spend more time on their phones than with each other. A simple request sounds like criticism. A small mistake feels like a personal attack. You may notice that laughter has reduced and silence has increased, not peaceful silence, but heavy silence. Sometimes one small disagreement leads to hours or even days of emotional distance. Meals are eaten together, but hearts feel separate. At night, you replay arguments in your mind, thinking of what you should have said or should not have said. Children may become quieter or more aggressive. Parents may complain more. Couples may stop sharing their inner thoughts. These are not dramatic events, yet they slowly weaken the emotional foundation of the home. Another sign is constant defensiveness. When every suggestion feels like blame. You may also see repeated patterns, the same type of argument happening again and again, only the topic changes. Over time, people begin avoiding honest conversation to prevent conflict. But avoidance does not create peace, it only hides tension. When you observe these signs without blaming anyone, you begin to understand that the real issue is not the situation. It is the unconscious reaction to the situation. Awareness of these signs is the first gentle step toward restoring harmony. Healing begins not with grand speeches, but with small, conscious actions repeated daily. The one habit that transforms a home is the habit of mindful pause. Before responding to a comment that triggers you, take one slow breath. That single breath creates space between emotion and reaction. In that space, wisdom has a chance to enter. When someone speaks sharply, instead of replying immediately, soften your tone. Lowering your voice often lowers the conflict. If you feel misunderstood, express your feelings calmly rather than accusing. Say, "I felt hurt when this happened," instead of, "You always do this." This simple shift changes the energy completely. Make listening your daily practice. Listen without interrupting, without preparing your defense. When people feel heard, they naturally become calmer. Another powerful habit is quick forgiveness. Do not carry small grudges into the next day. Resolve issues before sleep when possible. Even a gentle touch on the shoulder or a soft, "let's forget it," can heal much tension. Create small rituals of connection. Eat one meal together without devices. Share one gratitude each night. Or sit silently for 2 minutes as a family. These simple practices build emotional safety. Peace grows when one person decides to protect harmony more than pride. And when you take responsibility for your reactions, the atmosphere of the home slowly begins to change. The deepest spiritual lesson behind peace at home is this: true growth is measured not by how calm you appear in the world, but by how gentle you remain with those closest to you. Anyone can control their words in public. Anyone can smile before strangers. But real awakening is tested inside the home, where your ego feels strongest and your patience feels weakest. Your family members are not obstacles in your spiritual journey. They are your teachers. Each disagreement reveals something within you that still needs understanding. Each irritation shows where ego is hiding. When you begin to see conflict as a mirror rather than an attack, awareness awakens. Peace at home is not created by forcing others to change. It is born when you choose maturity over impulse. When one person becomes more patient, the entire emotional climate begins to shift. When one heart softens, others slowly feel safe to soften too. This is the power of conscious living. A peaceful home is not perfect. It still has differences, opinions, and mistakes. But it has respect. It has listening. It has humility. And humility is the doorway to harmony. The awakening is simple yet profound. Protect relationships more than pride. Protect understanding more than victory. When love becomes more important than being right, peace naturally settles into the home like gentle light at sunrise. As this message comes to a close, I invite you to take a quiet moment for yourself. Think about your home, not the walls or the furniture, but the feeling inside it. When you walk through your door each day, what energy do you bring with you? Do you bring calmness, or do you bring the stress of the outside world? Peace at home does not begin with a big announcement or a dramatic change. It begins with one conscious decision. The decision to pause before reacting, to listen before judging, and to choose understanding over ego. Tonight, try this one small habit. In your next conversation, slow down your words. Speak gently. Notice the difference it creates. You may be surprised how quickly the atmosphere begins to soften. If this message touched your heart, write in the comments, "I choose to bring peace to my home." Your words may inspire someone else who is silently struggling with family tension. I would also love to know what topic you would like to hear next. Would you like a video on healing relationships with parents? On controlling anger? On building trust in marriage? Or on spiritual habits for daily life? Share your thoughts below and let us grow together as a community of awareness and kindness. If you found value in this message, subscribe and gently share it with someone who needs peace in their home. May your words carry warmth, may your presence bring comfort, and may your home become a place of harmony and strength. Jai Gurudev.